So tell us about Rehearsal. What does Rehearsal do, and then how did you learn ELB sales?
So ELB Learning is looking to step into the sales enablement space, and so Rehearsal is a video-based practice and coaching platform. From a use case standpoint, right, sales and sales enablement is the number one use case for it, but it's extremely agile. So it's used for leadership training, new hire employee onboarding, customer service or customer success teams, anything that you want to practice in an asynchronous fashion and be able to get coaching and feedback. That's what it does.
So I want to talk about the UX from the learner's perspective.
Sure.
And also the other learner, which is the administrative perspective.
Right.
Yeah. So if I am utilizing this part of the ELB, right? Is it live training? Is it pre-recorded? Right. Is it virtual? Kind of, tell me the video experience that me as the learner is getting by utilizing this part.
As an end user, when you log into the platform, you see scenarios that have been created by your L&D team, by maybe sales leadership or sales, whoever is owning the platform in that regard, and that they've assigned you to. So you can run multiple use cases. You're not seeing everybody else's material or their activities. I don't want to see what's relevant to me in my role, but it is a pre-recorded video that might be the front end of a video role play, or simply, again, like instructor-led type of instructions. I can go in, can review the information, and then I have the option to record and re-record myself as many times as I want to, practicing that skill set, whether it be how to overcome objections, or how to deliver an elevator pitch, or whatever, negotiation tactics, whatever it might be, and practice. And then once I submit that in the platform, it's getting routed to whoever has been assigned to me as my mentor. Again, whether it's my direct manager, again, somebody from L&D who can then review it and provide real coaching and feedback. One thing to be able to scale one-on-one coaching, right? Because we can only have so much time face-to-face, right? So, but being able to do it with video in an asynchronous fashion where you're still seeing people, reading the tone, right? Making those connection points is a way to scale it and get more one-on-one coaching, but fitting it around the other responsibilities you have throughout your day.
One thing that we love to also talk about is, especially with tech, so you have the learner that's actually engaging with the content, and you have a second learner, which is the actual person behind the scenes creating content, right? So tell us about that process. Do you guys, have your own internal, editing software built, or do you just build video, then upload it, and then what's that admin experience like for people looking for a solution?
With now being part of ELB has a whole team to be able to deliver and build custom content for organizations if they so choose. But most often we see organizations are purchasing this and then building the scenarios that are specific to their company culture, their sales methodology. And within the platform, it's all built in there, right? Because you're just using the camera and the recorder that's already tied with the device. From an admin standpoint, it does have to be web-based because for development-wise, but any microphone, any cam recorder you've got, right? You can then record video, or you can take it outside of the platform and come in and upload it as well, however you want to. And it's basically just including that video, including the additional information from a tech standpoint you want to include, assign it to who you need to assign it to. So it's a really simple process for onboarding our admins from a content creation standpoint. It's not a heavy lift, which is really helpful for organizations who again want to be agile and not get bogged down with another system.
What's the biggest challenge that you have with onboarding admins?
The sales process typically runs through the admin. Right, it's typically L&D. Right, I'm not going to sales. I'm not selling to sales professionals and then and then it gets dropped in. Right, admins or L&D or trading. Right, they're the ones that are typically purchasing it and running it from an admin and pushing top down, working with the sales organizations to create content that are specific for their teams. The biggest challenge, though, has been making sure that you're getting the quality coaching from sales leadership, right? Whether it be regional sales directors, those types of things, because there's just a multitude of facets that go into it, right? How much content are we pushing out, right? What's the ratio of learner to mentor, right? Because if I've got to go in and watch, if I've got a team of 8, I've got to watch 3 or 8 3-minute videos and then provide quality coaching and feedback on those, right? There's more onus on me than it is on each individual learner. So we've built different capabilities in the platform. We call them intelligent journeys to scale time in platform for mentors to really streamline it, make it a much more learner-driven experience if they so choose, and just be more strategic to when we're getting those mentors involved in that coaching and work.
Tell us one of your favorite success stories.
Huge shout out to our great customers, our great friends over at Paychex.
Paychex.
All
Paychex,
right,
yeah.
awesome. Woo!
They were looking to take a 16-week in-person new hire onboarding process down to a 10-week mostly virtual onboarding process.
Wow.
Okay,
That's a huge cut.
Right, it's a big cut, and their goal was employee retention. Okay, a lot of turnover in the financial industry, right? So by including Rehearsal, by making these changes, going to a blended learning environment, and including Rehearsal into that aspect, they were able to successfully make that change, and there were a multitude of results that came out of it. Number one, they were able to increase their employee retention by 8%, which was a really big deal for them, right? I forget what their goal for that was, but
huge.
it's actually a big number, right? But then even from that standpoint, they were able to increase sales by 10% coming out of their new hire
Wow,
roles,
okay.
right?
Gosh.
So again, it just goes back to what I mentioned earlier, right? This speed to competency. When you put people in a situation where they're practicing these situations, before you put them in a live environment, they've got more comfortability, more skill built around that, so that they can perform. So by winning earlier, they're more likely to stay. So those two things really work in tandem. But in that regard, they were able to increase their speed to competency by 68%.
Yeah,
when it comes
that
to
makes
getting
sense.
up to a level of being able to perform and win. Able to cut down on travel costs, obviously,
Oh,
right?
yeah, of
by
course,
going from in person, going to an asynchronous fashion to where we can touch people at different points more often. With cutting down the travel costs was a huge deal.
Oh, huge.
Yeah,
Huge
major ROI there.
That's awesome. It was such a
Yeah.
pleasure, guys. Thank
Thank
you
you so
so
much.
much. We
Appreciate
really
it.
appreciate your time.